Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Tori LeBeau here with Powernomics. I changed the channel to Powernomics because that is what we are speaking about and going to be teaching here because it's very important. If any of you do not know what Powernomics is, then let's go ahead and start from there. Powernomics is a term created by the illustrious Dr. Claude Anderson, who created a map for Afro diasporans to be able to gain power within the world. Now, powernomics is a combination of power and economics. So, as you see the title here, that African Americans were created or are a creation of by white people. Now, I know that's going to make a lot of you mad here, but we have to go ahead and get into it. Listen with an open mind and put your judgments aside so that we can go ahead and get into what we really need to get into in learning our history or learning who we are, getting to the root cause of our issue in order so we can move forward within this time, because we're in 2024, about to be in 2025, people. It's time for us to gain some powers to work together. So I'm not going to ramble on anymore. We're going to start it off with what? The Willie Lynch letter. A lot of you know what it is. A lot of you don't. If you haven't, then you can read along with me. I'm going to go ahead and put it on the screen, and we're going to go ahead and get into it, because this is where a lot of our issues, core issues today in 2024, going into 2025, is hindering us from moving and building with one another in order to create this system or this freedom that we've all been searching for. So let's get into it. Willie Lynch, the making of a slave. Now, I'm not going to speak about all of it. I'm going to speak about the core points so that each and every one of you could understand what it is. Like I said, I'm putting it on the screen here. Gentlemen, you know what your problems are. I do not need to elaborate. I am not here to enumerate your problems. I am here to introduce you to a method of solving them. In my bag here, I have a foolproof method for controlling your black slaves. I guarantee every one of you that if installed correctly, it will control the slaves for at least 300 years. It has a marker here, as you can see, that says 2012. So that was when 300 years is supposedly have ended. But he'll go on to say something else that you'll find out. My method is simple. Any member of your family or your overseer can use it. I have outlined a number of differences among the slaves and make the differences bigger. I use fear and distrust and envy for control. These methods have worked on my modest plantation in the West Indies, and it will work throughout the South. Take this simple little list of differences and think about them. On top of my list is age, but it's there only because it starts with an A. The second is color or shade. There is intelligence, size, sex, size of plantations, and status on plantations, attitude of owners, whether the slaves live in the valley, on a hill, east, west, north, south, have fine hair, coarse hair, or is tall or short. Now that you have a list of differences, I shall give you an outline of action. But before that, I shall assure you that distrust is stronger than trust, and envy stronger than adulation, respect, or admiration. The black slaves, after receiving this indoctrination, shall carry on and will become self refueling and self generating for hundreds of years, maybe thousands. Don't forget, you must pitch the old black male versus the young black male, and the young black male against the old black male. You must use the dark skinned slaves versus the light skinned slaves, and the light skinned slaves versus the dark skinned slaves. You must use the female versus the male, and the male versus the female. You must also have you white servants and overseers, distrust all blacks. Now, let me read that again because I believe that there is a discrepancy in this text. It's supposed to read, you must also have your white servants and overseers, distrust all blacks. Now, I don't have to go into that line as in the reason why when we are in stores, they look to see if we are stealing, if we are thieving, if the little white lady or the white girls on the streets, even the white guys, the white ladies will grab their purses when we walk past or when they see us next to them or close to them, while the white man or the white young man, or let's say the white boy, white old boy, however you want to say it, they check to see if their pockets make sure the wallet is still there, right? Now let's go back to pinning the dark skin against the light skin. Now we've all known, oh, she's light skinned. Oh, you got that good hair. You got that good hair. Oh, she just thinks she good because she light skinned. Oh, you know good. You just a dark skinned. Oh, you talk like you dark skinned. Where does all of this come from? Right here. Old versus young. You don't know nothing, old timer. You don't know nothing. What's wrong with you young bloods, man? What's wrong with you? Man, y'all young bloods don't know nothing. Here, right? Willie Lynch. Keep going. It is necessary that your slaves trust and depend on us. Who's us? The Caucasians. They have to depend and trust solely in the Caucasians, right? Because they want us to distrust one another, but solely trust and depend on them. So they had to teach us this behavior that we seem to always act on. Use them. They must love, respect, and trust only us. They must love, trust, and respect only us. Pause. Extended pause. Huh? They must love, respect, and trust only us. Gentlemen, these kits are your keys to control. Use them. Have your wives and children. Use them. Never miss an opportunity. If used intensely for 1 year, the slaves themselves will remain perpetually distrustful of each other. I do not have to elaborate when all of the problems that we face as people, as a race of Afro diasporans, is right here. They have to love, respect, and trust only us, only the Caucasians. Therefore, what have you seen all this time? Wow, we love them, man. Oh, white people, man, I could trust them more than I could trust my own people. Man, my own people are more racist than white people. So here, man, you can't tell me that this is not what has been hindering us all of this time.